Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key. I'm sorry, but I did not hear you press at least 4 digits of your PIN number. Thank you for using Blog Talk Radio. Goodbye. Welcome to Blog Talk Radio. Please enter your host PIN. When finished, press the pound key.
To start your show now, press 1 to hear important.
Your show will go live in 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1. Blog Talk Radio.
Nobody take no cornbread from me.
Hey, President Barry O. up in this month. I just want to let y'all know that I'm voting for Bernie.
Oh, yeah. That's what I'm talking about. Come on, sucker. Let's get it on.
Hillary Clinton, she'll say anything. Get elected. Do not trust Hillary.
Man, those are some memories right there, Johnson. Those are memories, good memories. What up, people? This thing we've been working. Well, it looks like it's doing something crazy. It's doing something crazy. I don't know. It looks like it was. Let's make sure, Johnson. No, we're okay. I'm just being paranoid. What's going on, people? My name is Tim Black. Welcome to the Tim Black Show. This is Tuesday, right? Tuesday, that means it's phone calls. Let's put the phone number up. Phone number? Okay, I don't see it. Did I get rid of the phone number? Maybe I got rid of it. Phone number is 319-527-6212. I've been having to clean up my computer, so maybe that file got deleted. So, what is going on? Wolfpack in the house. Wolfpack in the house. All the people that are tuned in on YouTube. What's up, YouTube? How y'all doing, man? Let's see if YouTube can hear us. Let's check it out. Let's check out YouTube, Tim Black. Got a few people in the house. Monique is in the house. Brad is doing the moderating. What's up, Brad? Did I see Eli? Eli's in the house. There it is. What's up, Eli? What's up, Brad? What's up, Bose Einstein, Gira, Murray Warren, Lady Jackie? There we go. I see Brian Crosby. I see Nambi in the house. Nambi, my sister. What up, sis? How you doing? Happy belated birthday. I saw that on Facebook. Happy birthday, sis. Diana M16, Kara's in the house. Chris is in the house. Gary Yogi is in the house. Give it up for those folks. Wow. Ebony Fry. David Melford's in the house. What it be, Johnsons? What it be? Man. All right. What's up, Cam? Cam Bam? Okay, Cam Bam. I'll take that. Emerson Lamb is Shadow President. Shadow President. Give it up for that name. Yeah, that's a good one. That's a good one, Johnson. That's a good one. So, we got phone lines open. 319-527-6212. Folks are in the House, which is great. Stimulus. Impeachment. Let me write this down. Impeachment. Impeachment hearings. Look, let me tell you something, guys. What fact? Let me tell you something right now. I did not watch 30 seconds of the impeachment proceedings. None of them. Not even this. Look, I didn't even do this. I didn't even watch it that long. Look, I had interesting guests this week. I had interesting guests. Yesterday I had Jennifer Farmer. Today I had Zakia Sakar Jabbar. And I was not going to waste my time. I did 2 shows. Look, I did 2 shows a day for the last couple of days. And I haven't had time to watch an exercise of, burning calories while eating a cheeseburger. Like, watching these proceedings is like, I'm going to lose weight. You running on a treadmill while you're eating a slice of pizza and drinking a beer. No, you're not. Yeah, I know, I heard that, I heard it all. We want to stop Trump. The way you stop Trump and you make sure Trump can't run again is you do right by the American people. That's what you got to do. See, that's all you got to do. That's all you got to do. And see, these people won't tell you the truth, man. Look, these so-called Democratic loyalists, the ones that cape for the Democrats at every turn, they don't want to hold the Democrats accountable for nothing that they do. And it's all, they'll chastise viewers, they'll chastise voters all day about voters is too stupid. How stupid are you to be a commentator and you can't say, hey, the Democratic Party, all this stuff about Trump is a waste of time. Won't you just make it so the voters are so happy with you, they never go back to Trump. But you can't say that, can you? Because you'll be putting your Democratic Party in a bad light. And we all know that's where you got to eat at. You got to eat off the Democrats. So you can't tell them the truth. You can't tell your viewers the truth. You can't tell me the truth. You can't live the truth. You can't talk the truth. You can't be truthful. Because that will require you to call a spade a spade. Yeah, call a spade a spade. It is what it is. The only insurance against people keep saying, oh man, we got Donald Trump. We may end up getting somebody worse than Trump. Yeah, since the Democrats don't do their job. It's like anything else, guys. It's like anything else. We've all been around the bend a couple times, right? We're not children. We know how life works. You ever dated somebody who dated somebody before you? Right? Like, we know how this works, right? Ladies, you ever dated somebody, you ever found a good man in your life? What'd you do? You put forth the effort to keep that man in your life because you cared about him, you liked him, you loved him. You wanted to build a life with him. Now, if you treat him like garbage, stay out, days at a time without phoning him, come home smelling like another guy's cologne, he might leave. Yeah, he might leave. He might leave. Yeah, he might find somebody that treats him a little bit better. Might find somebody that rub his back, cook him something sometimes, or at least go out to dinner with him. You know what I mean? And look, I'm not being sexist. I mean, I could have done it the other way with guys, but we always use guys. Can we be a little bit original and use women for a change? Why it's always got to be the guys that do the horrible relationship stuff? Need a seat, won't raise the seat up. It's always the guys. Forget your anniversary. Nah, let's talk about the ladies in this analogy. This is Tim Black's analogy. We're going to talk about the women. The women are going to be the bad person in the relationship this time. Now, he keeps coming home, come right home with his check. Here, baby. And you take the check, go out party. You go out and party with the check. Go across town, hang out, Go to Bloomberg parties. I don't know what you do, right? But this is the Democratic Party. This is what the Democrats do. They take your donation, and they don't pay the mortgage with it. They don't keep the lights on. They go party with it. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Whole fundraisers for Kamala in the Hamptons. Yeah, yeah. The best insurance for them getting another Trump is not these BS hearings that are a waste of time and a distraction from real issues. The only insurance you will ever have is to be a better mate. Treat these voters, give the American people a reason not to want a Trump again. But that will require you to stay your ass home, throw something on a hot plate or something occasionally, not cheat, not lie a lot, constantly lying. Sad part about it is, voters are so brainwashed and so battered at this point. It's so needy. They got Stockholm Syndrome. I like it when you treat me bad. I don't deserve better. What am I gonna do? Go somewhere else? They'll probably be worse. What else can I do? My ancestors died so I could be with her. So I could vote for her. So I could be with her. I'm trying to make this work. Work with me, y'all. I didn't think about this beforehand. This is spontaneous creativity you're witnessing. It ain't gonna be perfect, Johnson. Yep. So look, I don't know what people expect. Now, the Democratic Party think they can treat you like garbage. Promise you $2,000, and then by the time you open up the gift, it's $1,400. Then tell you that you're stupid, that you can't count. Then have all their girlfriends on cable news lie to you. Why? No, she didn't say 2,000. No, she did say 2,000. No, she didn't. She said 1,400. Boy, you so crazy. What you mean I'm crazy? Here it is right here. Right here. This is it. It's on tape. Play. Oh, no, I don't want to hear that. No, you are just crazy. You are delusional. You are delusional. It's on tape. Then you go listen to your lying ears again. It's horrible, man, what they do. Look, leave me out of it. Just leave me out of it. Look, just talk to your wife. Talk to her. I'm trying to tell you, man. Nowhere else does this work. Nowhere else in life does it work. And if it did work, these people that are the woman in this scenario is so horrible, no one would want you to stay with her. Yeah, if you left, people would understand. They would root for you to leave. If it was a movie, they'd be like, get away, man. Man, this guy won't leave her. You're making us look bad. Leave this woman. She don't care about you, man. Wake up and smell the coffee. Look how she treats you. Man, but she love me. She don't act like she love you. Man, she the only one for me. Have you looked around? Have you went out there on your own and, saw if there was somebody else? No, man, in my system, it's either her or nothing. Well, look, if you stay with her and she treats you like this and you stay with her, she has no incentive to treat you better. Man, you trying to break us up. But you want her? You must want her, don't you? I see the way you look at her. Nah, man, believe me, I don't. Johnson, I don't want her. Man, just get out of my head, man. Get out of my head, man. Influencing me, trying to break up a good thing, trying to break up a happy home. Your home don't seem too happy, Johnson. I'm just saying, man, like nowhere else in life would this work. And if, like I said, if this was a movie, we'd be rooting for the guy to leave. We'd be rooting for him to wake up, go to a bar one night, crying in his drink, his martini or some imported beer or whatever, sitting at the bar by himself, eating up nasty peanuts that people that touched on him after not washing their hands. He's there all disheveled on the bar stool. And you would hope that someone would walk into the bar. Nice lady who sits over by herself. She'd give him that look. And she'd do something that, doesn't usually happen to guys. She'd actually walk over and say, hey, is this seat taken? For a second there, their eyes would meet, and he'd know that she's a Republican. And then he'd get up and run out. He runs out of the bar. Yeah, he runs out of the bar. Listen, guys, here's the deal. Here's the deal. I'm not saying that the Democratic Party is evil, but they're very close to evil. No, that's exactly what I'm saying. I am saying they are evil. I'm saying that. That's what I'm saying. Look, I'm just being serious. So all this talk, man, all this talk about impeaching Donald Trump, man, save yourself some time. It ain't going to happen, Johnson. It ain't going to happen. Okay? They're just doing their best to milk the little bit of the rest of dollars out of the golden goose on this way out the door. They're trying to snatch a little bit, a little bit more money out of him before he leaves because he's been so good for business, they hate to see him go. What was the CEO of CBS who said Donald Trump ain't good for America, but he's damn sure good for our bottom line? And that's all they've ever cared about, man, is that bottom line. That's it, Johnson. That's all it is. He's been a great fundraising mechanism. He's been such a great fundraising mechanism that they don't think they can go back cold turkey without having a horrible person. A horrible person to hang their hat on, to raise funds off of. I mean, they've been so spoiled by Donald Trump over the last 5 years that they're trying to make Marjorie Taylor Greene into a Trump with a change purse. Yeah, they're trying their best, man. Had her do something weird, dyeing her hair. They made one mistake, though. She's really stupid. Yeah, like Trump, they call him a buffoon, right? But actually, Trump was cunning. I saw Marjorie Taylor, give a speech where she contradicted herself like 5 times in the first 5 minutes. And Trump, don't get me wrong, Trump contradicted himself a lot too, but he spaced it out. In between jokes and adolescent digs at the other side. She's just embarrassing to watch. I had a good time embarrassing myself on Capitol Hill. I feel like I'm really a good American, and the Lord bless me. And when I said the Parkland shootings were a hoax, I was wrong. And I'm glad I was wrong. And I'm glad I'm being humiliated right now. And they took my committee assignments away. And I'm glad they took them away. Because I can get more done without having any responsibilities to do anything. Having all my power stripped actually makes me more effective for the people of Georgia. I wake up every morning and I thank God that I was humiliated on TV. So they're trying to make this lady into a mini Donald Trump. That's not going to work. So Instead, they did something. The Democrats said, well, we got to do something to keep people watching this garbage. We got to do something to get people focused on something besides the fact they could catch the coronavirus and die any minute. Oh, I know what. Biden. Pick Neera Tanden. She's only hated by, like, everyone online. Maybe except for Tom Hartman. I think even Tom Hartman hates her. Now, anybody who doesn't know who Tom Hartman is, he's like the most politically correct political analyst with a show in America. Really, I don't think Tom's ever said a crossword to anyone. Tom Hartman makes David Pac-Man look like Tim Black. And when Tom Hartman heard that Neera Tanden was getting the job, is getting confirmed at the OMB, Office of Budget Management or whatever, management budget, Tom was like, what the fuck, man? Hold on, man. Cut the crap. Even Tom lost it, man. Tom came outside himself. He started spitting and yelling and cursing like Jimmy Dore. Calm down, Tom, calm down. Oh, get the hell out of here. Jesus Christ. Went outside and got a gun. I don't know. I didn't even know he had a gun. Thought he didn't believe in guns. I don't know, guys. I didn't prepare for this. You know, I didn't prepare for things to be this horrible. I really did, man. I've been busy trying to come up with a positive, you know? There's nothing positive about it. They want to send our kids back to school, even though they may catch a disease that they bring home and kill us. Yeah, that's what they're talking about it. It doesn't make sense, Johnson. Tell me, how does it make sense? Huh? They say now that the disease, the coronavirus, COVID-19, has morphed into a flame retardant, super killer, super spreader organism, a variant that's 35 times more deadly than the previous. And right after saying that, they say, we got to open those schools back up. What? For real, dog? Talk about your population control. Look, man, I'm against homeschooling because I'm the one at home. So don't get me wrong. I'm with you, America. I don't want to. These kids are nerve-wracking. And they need to be together and, you know, being socialized out there at school. The babysitters. Joking. I respect teachers, and teachers deserve a lot more money. That's what we need to do. We need to increase payment, increase salaries. Like, that's another thing. This is great for me to bring that up. Stop saying essential workers are heroes. My brother's an essential worker. He ain't a hero. He's not. He's not a hero. I got jumped one time. He was right there. He did not jump in. My brother is not a hero, Johnson. What he is a brother who got bills. Okay? These essential workers, you keep building them up. Oh, essential workers are heroes. No, they're people that you should pay more money to, and you don't. So they have to keep working to live indoors. They ain't no hero. That's a poor person. Person living paycheck to paycheck on the edge. Because nobody in their right mind wants to work right now. Everybody wants to avoid catching the corona. Everybody. Even people who deny it's real, in the back of their minds, they really don't want to test fate. You know what I'm saying? You know? It's like people that don't believe there's a hell, but they really ain't trying to find out. You know what I'm saying? So, miss me and stop doing it. It's insulting, first of all, because if they were so valuable, they were heroes, you'd pay them more. Damn right you pay them more. A hero shouldn't be broke. You know who should be broke? Insurgents. Anyway, that's all I really got, guys. This has been great. Terrific. I said, you know what? I had a great guest tomorrow. Great guest today, Zakia. Amazing, right? Zakia Jabbar. We had a great conversation. It's on my YouTube channel. Check it out. Jennifer Farmer. Yesterday I had a great interview with her. Great conversation. Tomorrow it's going to be Senator Neera Turner. Friday will be Dr. Dooley. Looking forward to that. Give it up. And today I didn't really do any preparing. Like I'm like really running on fumes right now. But I said, Tim, you got to push through and open up the phone lines because people got to call up. They got to speak truth to power. So that's what we're going to do. We're going to go to break. We're going to come back. And you're going to talk. Yeah, you're going to talk. If you're watching this, you're going to pick up the phone and you're going to call in. Because I could go have a glass of wine and go to bed. It's on you, Johnson. You got 2 minutes. Wolfpack.
Don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe. Don't be fooled by corporate media talking heads misleading the people. Get your news and information from an entity that keeps it real. Tim Black. Tim Black is the host of The Tim Black Show. Independent news that leaves you informed, inspired, and sometimes entertained, but always in the know. Go to timblacktv.com and sign up today. The Tim Black Show is news for people who can't stand the news. See you there.
Cool Stream TV with over 2,000 channels. Watch it anywhere on your Android or iPhone. Watch it on your tablet or any Fire device. Premium channels, network channels, pay-per-view sports. Direct access to 24/7 customer service. Go to CoolStreamsTV.com and purchase your subscription. Cool Streams TV. We are the best in the business.
Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe. There we go. Let's try to get the phone number up on the screen because that's kind of important for people to know. The phone number to call into. We're trying, Johnson. We're trying. See what happens here. So we can make this work. Oh, look at that. It works, Johnson. Do I need to get fancier? No, I don't. Leave that as is. Okay, guys, we're back. All right, Johnsons, we're back. We got it going on. All right. Let's do this, guys. Let's make it happen. Phone number's up on the screen, and I'm going to my first call in queue. It's the 352 number in the house, 352. You are live. What's your name, and what is your comment?
Tim, 352.
352. Who's this?
It's Yogi down in the swamps.
Yogi, what's happening, brother?
Am I coming through? I don't know, because I got you on speaker right now. Is it sounding all right, or should I take it off the speaker?
I don't know. Let's see what the crowd says. Anybody complaining about the sound? Can you guys hear Yogi? Hell yeah, Johnson. I don't know.
All right. All right. I care more about what you hear. If you can hear me, that's all that matters.
You good, brother? They said fine with you. They said it's good. Go ahead.
All right. So anyway, what do we got going on today? First of all, I'm so glad you fucking wiped out the Trump impeachment story real quick, because it seems like they're going to try to divert us about this. The Trump impeachment, it means nothing to me. This guy should just be like a guy on the side of the street that's going to jail. I don't need to know his story. He caused treason. He had the cap. I mean, we're going to make a story about Trump. I don't need to talk about Trump. I'm tired of that word. If I hear Trump again, I'm going to blow my brains out. All right? He should be dead and gone by now. All right? What? How am I doing?
You're doing good, man. Yeah.
All right. Well, I don't know. It's just keep me posted, bro. So anyway, yeah, forget that. I saw it today. I was like, geez, people are waiting for their stimulus checks. They're waiting for, people are losing their homes. And we're going to talk about the Trump impeachment? Really? Keep that on a side burner. I don't need to know. If that man goes straight to jail, he freaking caused treason. He had the Capitol. People died. Wasn't there a guy that died in the Capitol because of that stupid shit?
Yeah.
All right. So yeah. I gotta watch my words. I'm gonna watch the F-bombs. I'm gonna watch my cursing. But you gotta know, bro. By this time of night, I'm already loaded. So it's not easy for me to drop the F-bombs. But I'm out of respect. I'm working really hard not to say stupid shit. Okay. So anyway, yeah, I don't need to hear about Trump no more. It's like the media is making Trump into something that just distracts us from the real things that are going on. Are you kidding me, people? Really? He messed up. He's gone. He's going to pay his dues. Let him go. Let him go. People are dying and starving right now. There's people that have not been working for 10, 12 months. There's people in this country right now that don't know how they're going to hold their house together. There's people in this country right now that don't know how they're going to feed their kids. There's people in this country right now that don't know if they're going to be living on the streets. And I got to be talking about Trump?
Yep.
Are you kidding me? Are you kidding me? Let's get our priorities straight. The man messed up. He's gone, just like a lot of bad leaders were gone. Don't waste my time on a bad leader that should have never been a leader in the first place. Let's move on to what the hell is important. Right now, people, I was talking to a guy down the street, Tim. He said, Dad, I've been out of work 10 months. I can't get a job because wherever I go, it's the virus is freaking killing my chances of getting a job.
Yep.
I'm like, bro, so what are you going to do? He's like, I don't know, Dad. My house is falling apart. My family's falling apart. My life's falling apart. And I got to listen to people talk about Trump. Are you kidding me? When are we going to learn, people, to stop taking the bait, to stop taking the diversions of these stories that the news wants to divert you from? Because you know what, Tim? And that's the truth. And that's the truth. The corporate media is in cahoots with the powers to be. All right? So what the corporate media does is they're really always protecting their financial interests. What you said a long time ago, Tim, and you've said many times, is a lot of these guys on newscast sold their soul to the devil just so they can get on CNN, and all of a sudden they turned. Right?
That's right.
They turned. They just said whatever they said to get a paycheck. I got no respect for somebody like that. I can't, I'm Tim. I'm nobody. Just so everybody knows that's listening right now tonight, Tim, because you got the Wolfpack. I love you, Wolfpack. I love you, Tim. But anybody that happens to be listening, I'm just a bum. I'm just a bum. If you saw me right now, Tim, I'm living in a little shack with 2 dogs and a cat in the hood, and I'm like, you wouldn't believe where I'm coming from. I'm not trying to make a point on anything like Garrett, what are you doing? Like, well, I just want to get on a talk show and act like I got on a talk show tonight. I don't call you for that, Tim. I call you because I'm sitting actually in my room, friggin' like looking at life like, holy cow, I got a man that I could talk to on national friggin' radio, and he relates to me as a man. I could be living in the woods right now on a cell phone, and that wouldn't be really far off from where I am right now, Tim. That wouldn't be really far off from where I am right now. So, these people that call all the time when they're calling from their comfy places and on the phone, I love a lot of the callers, but sometimes a lot of people call and they're like, well, I got the answers to everything. I'm like, you ain't got the answers to nothing. If you had the answers, you would be doing something else with your life. Right now, what Tim wants, what I want, at least, I don't know what you want to, but I think you want pretty much. We want the truth. Tell me how you feel. Tell me how you feel from real ground zero. All right? I don't need to hear, I got the answer. I'm going to solve this tonight. Let me tell you what, this is the problem. It's below. It's this. It's that. And I hear these people call every night. And I'm like, okay, I know they're coming from the right place, so I'm not going to dish them. But it's like, guys, stop trying to tell everybody what the answer is. I don't think I ever call and tell you what the answer is, Tim. I call and say, what's the question? What is it that we need to talk about? What is it that we need to talk about? What's really important? And right now, 10 months out of work, people have been out of work, my friends all around me, they're like, hey, Garrett, I've been out of work 10 months, and then once I get a job back when this is all good, these guys are coming back for me for the last 10 months' rent. Well, how do people make up for that? Just because the virus ends tomorrow doesn't mean these people get off their bills tomorrow.
That's right.
All right? All these bills, okay? So when the virus ends tomorrow, that don't cure nothing. People that have not been working all these months are going to have to come up with the bills. How are they going to do that? Let's talk about what's really facing us. Let's talk about what's really facing us, and there's an economic tsunami coming towards us unless we get our shit together. All right? There should be at least $2,000 a month going to every family member in this country. They're doing it in all countries around the world. All right? Let's stop the bullshit. The richest country in the world, we're 10 times richer in ratio to the Roman Empire. And we can't friggin' take care of our people. So stop the BS. We've got to get down to the fact. Forget about Trump's impeachment. That doesn't mean nothing to me. He's already dead. He's done and gone. He's done and gone. He's lost all his corporate sponsors. Nobody wants to back him. Nobody even wants to say they know Trump.
That's true.
So let's stop talking about Trump. He's done. He's gone. Stop making Trump take up my news time at night where we should be talking on the media about people's lives. I don't give a shit. Trump's done. He messed up. And you know what? At 77, I'm pretty sure he don't care. You know, he lived a full life. He lived a better life than most people who lived in 100 lifetimes, all right? So I don't have no sympathy for Trump. Let him go. I don't want to even hear his name no more. I don't even want to hear his name no more. Let him go. He's going to get his just dues. The legal companies are coming after him left and right. They don't even, the golf courses are giving up his name. The companies don't want nothing to do with him. He's done. He messed up. You know what? Lucky for him, he messed up at 77. He didn't mess up at 17. All right? He messed up at 7. Okay? All right? He had a good life. I don't need to talk about this man no more. Let's talk about the people that matter. So, anyway,
all right, brother.
How you doing, bro? What do we got to do? All right, I'll let you go, and I don't want to ramble on tonight. Sometimes I get ramble on, but I want to start you off on the right thing. Let's talk about the stuff that matters. Let's talk about the people that are looking at. Okay?
Yeah.
I love you, bro.
Love you back, man. I love this call, man. Great call, brother. And I needed to hear that, man, because, look, you know, everything that you said was true. And you're talking for a lot of people. You're speaking for a lot of people, man, who didn't call up tonight, you know, and it's Tuesday, and, you know, it's a weeknight. It's a weeknight and it's a weeknight, as in not strong, you know. And I get that, you know, and so I don't expect a lot of people to call in, but it's a good sentiment. It's a real sentiment. I will say this, though, man. I think it was Jennifer Farmer who said, when she's online and she's hearing people say certain things, she reminds herself that there's certain people that are online and certain people that aren't online. And that the people that are working hard every day, certain people don't have time to be online like that. You know, they may check their Instagram every once in a while, but there are a lot of Americans, man, that are just basically just getting by. Working 2-3 jobs if they're lucky. That's how they feel right now. And they don't have time to partake in this stuff. So it's a lot of different people in a lot of different places in their life right now, right? And there's people, as Yogi just pointed out, who wonder how they're going to stay living indoors, who are looking at a stack of bills. And even if you cure the coronavirus, there ain't a cure for the bills. And I just wondered how these people feel, man, that Yogi just described. And they hear us talking about Trump. Wow. That's a slap in the face big time, guys. That is a slap in the face big time. To not be talking about, first of all, to be not given a stimulus payment, to get shortchanged on the one they said they were going to give, for there not to be a recurring one every month, for there to be no back pay. It just seems like, and for people to be acting like it's not happening, it's like one of those dreams where you've ever had one of those dreams where you can't control your body, you can't control anything. And like maybe you just need to walk over across the room and you can't. Or maybe it's a dream where, I don't know, everybody else is acting normal, but there's nothing normal that's happening. But they are acting like it's normal. It's like, this can't be real. Like, you kind of like don't know if you're dreaming or if you're awake, but I don't know, maybe a dog's flying or maybe you're flying. I don't know, just crazy, and people acting like it's normal. And what I'm saying is, this shit right here is not normal. And people are not even talking about it in a way that's even honest. They're not even discussing this with any honest inflection, no realness, no trueness. Not only have almost 500,000 people, according to their numbers, died of COVID, we have people with the rent backed up for 5 or 6 months. And they're talking about this other shit, not even addressing these issues. It's like we're in a twilight zone. But we're not the only people on the planet. And there are other countries who are not in the twilight zone. They understand that there are people in their country who can't work because of this pandemic, so they're making sure those people can live indoors. And in this country, we're such greedy capitalists. We're run by an oligarchy of greedy capitalists who don't care about the stress level. Imagine the stress level of a family where only one person was working and now their hours are cut because of the pandemic, and they got a stack of bills, and then their kids are home. And the kids can't go out and play like they used to. And everything's upside down. And what do they hear them talking about on the TV? We said we're going to give you $2,000. And you thought, okay, finally some relief. And then they cut it to $1,400. And now they changed the conversation to a fake ass impeachment of Donald Trump, who's already out of office. You know, but speaking to that anger and that frustration, it may not be productive, but at least it's honest. At least it's honest and it's real. I'm going to go to the next call. 571. You're next up in the queue. Thank you for holding on. I was inspired by Gary there. 571, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Mother, come. All right.
Who's this?
Y'all sat there and shot on your own people.
Who's this?
All right. And oh, no.
I said, who is this?
People. Black people are the most spineless.
931, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. I don't know what that clown was talking about. But anyway, my wife has this saying, Tim, and she goes, until it comes to your own backyard, you'll know what it's like. And like a few years ago, right when I was retiring from the military, my last year in the Army, I've been gone for 20 years. I'm my mom's only son. Boom, stage 4 breast cancer. I got 5 kids, man. So I retired. I moved back to Tennessee. She on borrowed time. You see what I'm saying? So I never really paid attention to certain things like that. But at the end of the day, my entire life, I never cared about that type of stuff, meaning that it never affected my life, right? And now this pandemic has affected everybody. And it's really up on us, not these politicians, to come together and tell them what bills and policies we want. We understand that this stimulus will benefit every damn body, because then if the restaurants and the bars can't open up or whatever, believe me, people will have money, ways to order food or to have to buy alcohol, right? Or to mingle. They'll have their own money to put money back in the economy. This is about as popular as going to war after 9/11. I hate to say it that way because we all know that we're going to pay on the back end. You know what I'm saying? We all know that, yes, it's going to be expensive, but you know what? We got to go slap somebody. We got to do something to say, hey, you ain't going to never do this again. And if it makes us uncomfortable by taking your shoes off before you get on a plane, blah, 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 blah. this pandemic has made everybody uncomfortable. I have friends that have been on unemployment. You know, they got fired from their job or whatever because of the pandemic. And they feel like shit. They're men. They got mortgages and all this other, you know, everybody's going through this. But for some reason, we still can't find a way to come together. And that's what the most disheartening thing is, because the Republicans voted no. 50 people who represent half of the country said, no, we don't want a part of this. We know we're going to vote no for the stimulus package because of what bothers them the most about American people getting help. You know, we are at a position now, Tim, that whoever is president, the other half of the politicians will try to make them be so unsuccessful that every year we're going to have every 4 years we're going to have a new president. They're not going to work together. They're not going to play well. And at the end of the day, they do not care. Some do, like a Bernie Sanders or there's some people on the right that really care too. But at the end of the day, it's painful. And I don't know how the hell we get through it, but it's friggin' embarrassing. It's embarrassment when Canada's giving their people money, and they're not even a juggernaut like us when it comes to the GDP scale. That's all I want to say, Tim. Thank you, man.
Hey, man, thank you for the phone call, man. I appreciate it. At least it's a real call, man, with a real thought behind it. You know, when you call up and troll, you know your number shows, right? Just saying. Stupid. Stupid. Okay. 917. 917, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. Tim?
Hey.
Tim?
Yes.
Hello?
Yes.
Hey, Tim, it's Darlene from New York. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we hear you, Darlene. What's up?
Pause you over here. Okay. I just wanted to call up because there's been something, you know, I said I watch a lot of progressive shows and stuff like that. And I just wanted to voice my opinion, you know, on something that I thought something that's just been feeling when they had the thing about the force to vote. I at first I wasn't on part with it because I'm not a Jimmy Dore fan, but when I seen Marianne Williamson and Cornell was part of it, then I was like, you know, it made me take a second glance. And I was sad that it didn't go through, but the problem that I'm just looking at, it's not even a problem. It's with the squad after. And I think about, like, I don't think they're bad people, you know, and I don't think they're ingenuous. But what I do think is that they don't, you know, like maybe they don't realize the power that they have, that they should all get together. You know, I know it might be scary for one of them to go on TV and curse somebody out and tell them, but there's a squad. Why ain't you using the squad? You all go together. I don't know why they wouldn't go on Fox and go after Tucker Carlson. Like, you got to get them people to listen to what you have to say, whether you like him or not. There's all these people who watch him. Go on MSNBC. Go after Joe Scarborough and tell him about himself in a nice way, you know, but you could all go together. You could do it together. And I see when they call out Trump and impeachment, I don't think anything's wrong with it, but why aren't you doing that for Medicare for all or the $2,000 checks? That I don't get, and that's what makes me disheartened. It's like, you know, maybe does something happen? Like, I know you probably watch Power and seen Ghost, the new episode. Do they, when they're the DNC, the way that they do them on the show, would they do that to the people? Like, sometimes I wonder if they're scared. Like, do they threaten their family that they won't speak up sometimes? I don't know. I don't work there, so it's not easy for me to say. But I got to say, when you mentioned Tom Hartman, he said it. I was listening to one of his interviews, and he said that Roosevelt, they hated him. The news hated him. Back then, there was no TV, so all they had was the press, and they hated him. But because he went on the radio and talked to the people, he overrode what the press said. So that's what I'm saying about the squad and all them. They need to just get together and go on MSNBC and Fox and CNN and go sit with these people and talk to them and say what they got to say. You know, but go together, because I know it's not easy to do it one, but if you go together as a group, you're going to have that power. and they should be like the Justice Democrats be like the superheroes, or whatever, the Justice League. So that's all I had to say. And yeah, have a good night. I'm the one who told you about DJ Cassidy. I hope you finally got to watch it, because it definitely will make you smile with all the dumb shit that goes on the world today. All right, so have a good night.
All right, Darlene, give it up for Darlene, y'all. DJ Cassidy, okay. I wrote it down this time, Johnson, so I got you, Darlene. I'm going to move it to 615. 615, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, what's up, man? I'm actually out here on the East Coast. Sorry, my bad. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, cool. Yeah, I'm over here on the East Coast, man. I'm hanging with you tonight. I'm staying up late tonight for you. I'm loving the show. The last two comments have had some really good stuff. And when I first picked up the phone and dialed, I had a comment that was more about my situation, and it was more really more self-centered. But the comment I heard right before the last, where the guy illustrated, he highlighted this willingness to the point of our destruction to go down fighting for our partisanship effectively. Whether you look at it in a two-party system or our own subsects of them, I consider myself to be progressive. But and I think we're different. I think I don't fit into that group of people. But most people I know are willing to kill themselves, to destroy themselves, to make sure that you don't have it better than them, or that you don't feel better than them, or that their image of themselves does not decrease. Like that's how damaged we are by ego in this country. And I think the way that gentleman said what he said, I don't even know if he meant to like that, but it really illustrated something that's at the heart of a lot of individual difficulty, and glaringly at the heart of this, social this social handicap that we got. So thanks for taking my call, man. I love what you do. I've been listening for about a year and a half, and thanks for taking my call, Tim.
You got it, fam. Thank you for calling, man. And wow, I wish you would have. Like, I felt like you were trying to go somewhere. I wasn't exactly sure what you're saying, but that's a very dark thought, that people are willing to hurt themselves in order to make other people miserable. You know what I'm saying? I wonder if that's true, man. Is that how most people operate? I tend to think most people don't even think about other people. Like, they're so focused on their own whatever, unless they're putting you down to make themselves feel better, they really don't pay attention to anybody else. And I think that's, I think a lot of people are so self-centered, man. And that's sort of like the culture of our country, like to just focus on self. And there's some of us who focus beyond that, and sometimes it works out. You know what I'm saying? But I don't know, man. That's a really dark way to look at it, but I guess it's a valid point. I wonder if other people feel that way. Are people in America so miserable that they're wishing misery on others, or they want misery for other people, to the point where they're willing to suffer themselves just to see other people do worse than them? I don't know. I wonder if that's the thing. Okay, I'm going to go next call. Somebody else will figure it out for me. 347. You're live, 347. What's your name? What's your comment?
Yeah, I don't think it's people doing it for themselves. I think it's all about humility. Like, I could have the biggest car, biggest house. I could do everything. I could buy all the toilet paper, and you don't have the option to wipe your butt. We're removed from our neighbors. And it's like, we all have to, like, clamp down and say, look, who are we? We a nation? Are we a race? What are we? We're Americans. We have to, like, engage one another Are we black? Are we white? Like this whole experience is like racism. We're black, we're white, we're this, that, and the third. Can we have a nationhood? Where are you from? Who are you? Are you Italian? Are you Irish? Are you black? Are you African? Don't have you don't have a central idea of who we are with this American experience. And like we all chasing a dollar, we all chasing this celebrity. Like humble yourself. You got a bigger car than me. So does that make you have like less value than me? I mean, this is the conversation you having right now. It's all BS. That's all, Tim.
Well, I feel you on that, Joe. I think you're onto something with that. I know other people have said, other people made that same point, and it made me think about it, how other countries, you are considered wherever that country is. Remember not too long ago, Joe, was an African brother, man. I think it was Somalian brothers. They were in France or something, and one of them climbed the building and saved a child that was like, I don't know, it was a fire, I think it was a fire, and this African dude, and forgive me, guys, if I'm wrong about this, but I remember the story. He climbed the building. He did something very heroic. He saved a baby's life, and he was like a refugee. And what's the guy's name, man? God, I can't think of his name. Okay, they made him a citizen. They made him a Frenchman. They naturalized him. Made him one of theirs. Macron. Somebody knows what I'm talking about, right? Remember that video? You remember that video, right? Yeah. So they didn't make him white. They made him a Frenchman. You know what I'm saying? But America's so screwed up, and I think this is what Joe's saying, that if that happened here in America, they may have made you American citizen, but they wouldn't have made you American. You know what I'm saying? You still would have been a Latino or Mexican or Nigerian, but you would not have been an American. Not really in a sense equatable to being French. That's sad. We're screwed up, Johnson. We're real screwed up. 973, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment, 973?
Hey, what's going on, Tim?
Yo, what up?
You know what? I'm my name Najee from Jersey. I mean, I'm starting to believe. I think the joke is on us. I think it's all by design. I think that Republicans and the Democrats play on each other with this sharing of power and this illusion that they can't get things done because they're always in opposition. So the Democrats need the Republicans like the Republicans need the Democrats to stall things, to have the appearance that, that there's this gridlock, like they can't get things done because it's the other party. Then every 4 years we go through this spectacle. And my assessment, I mean, we're dealing with the same group of people. I mean, we play with these names, Republican, Democrat. These are people, wealthy people that live in the same communities. They share the same grandparents. They share the same aunts and uncles. You know what I mean? And they have the same ideology. It just seems like, there's never any gridlock when it comes to defense. There's never any gridlock when it comes to doling out money to so-called allies. They can find money for war, but when it comes to the American people. And that's interesting what you said about being American, especially when you talk about this Black experience. There's no older group in this country than Black Americans. They've fought in every war, suffered every hardship that the country has suffered. but our issues is always pushed to the side, and we're always and it kind of ticked me off when I used to kind of like when there'll be like a black grievance and they say, if you don't like America, get out the country. Like, and it's just kind of like, you spoke to it, like this un-Americanness. Like, what does it mean to be American? What makes you American? American is so saturated with the idea of like white supremacy. I also came to the conclusion, I wonder if this was an all-white nation, will we have all this gridlock? If this was an all-white nation, they will probably have a check every month. So even that speaks into the notion what the other brother, the other caller was talking about, where you just, you're just so hell-bent on seeing the other not get something, you're also willing to suffer and go down with the ship as well. And I think that's what we're seeing. I've also come to the conclusion that the Democrats are just as sinister or evil or whatever label you want to put on it as the Republicans. So, I mean, at this point, unless you're going to just basically dismantle the whole system, there's really no light at the end of the tunnel, to use a metaphor. And it's just real interesting. I mean, even when I seen this election and I seen people celebrating like there was something new coming through the door, and we just got a politician who has been in politics longer than I've been alive. So they was able to package that to us like that was something new. I voted Democrat down ballot. I didn't vote for Trump. I didn't vote for Biden, and I'm cool with it. Because it's kind of like I've been living long enough to see this script, and it's going to play out the same way. This guy's basically, he ran. He said, "Listen, elect us $2,000," and it should be no debate. It should be no discussion. That should be the agenda. That's what you should be fighting for. And again, like I said, the American people and Democrats who say you're Democrats, you're no different than the Republicans. We play this game with ourselves. We got this kind of like allegiance to these political parties like football teams, But at the end, when the trophy is hoisted in the air, the trophy's not going home with you. It's going to the owner of the team. So, again, I think we need to get real. Unless we really get serious about raising politicians from the grassroots and really, really pushing and supporting these candidates, I really don't see anything changing. So, and like I said, unfortunately, I got laid off for 2 weeks, and they called me right back to work. I'm in New York City area, and, there's restaurants and businesses that's closing down, and they're not coming back. They're not coming back. And, and again, I'm going to close with this. I have no problem, my brothers and sisters who are immigrating to this country, but Joe Biden, I really don't get the Democrats kind of like just prioritizing immigration. Like I you know what I'm saying? I mean, you're barely going to have enough jobs for the citizens here. But this prioritizing of just kind of like immigration, and no other country has this kind of immigration like we have. And I'm all for immigration, but I mean, can we like take care of home first? So I don't know. I don't know if I made any sense. I might just be rambling, but I really don't see a bright future, honestly. 4 more years, we'll be dealing with another Republican or and we're just going to keep playing this political ping pong, and that's just what it is.
Okay, brother. Well, look, Najee, thanks for calling up, man. Wow. Bruh. Bruh. Man. All right, so let's get something straight here, Najee, bro. Look, man, there's no gridlock. There's no fucking gridlock. They don't care about us, okay? There's no gridlock. They're not gridlocked on defense. They vote for the defense. They vote for the war machine. Trillions of dollars. There's no gridlock at all on that shit. There's no gridlock on the tax breaks for the rich. There's no gridlock at all on this shit, okay? They give it away. They give away the farm all the time. They bail out the corporations and they let us starve. There's no gridlock. Both parties agree to it. That's why it happens. It happens because both parties agree to it. This shit is running like a well-oiled machine, man. So let's cut to the shit, man. Let's cut through it, man. The only gridlock you're seeing is that the people don't want what they want. But there's no gridlock because we don't have any power. And they had this fake power, which is called elections. And those elections give us bad choices. So if you have bad choices, you don't really have a choice. If you really don't have a candidate that's really going to go in and fight for you, then you really don't have a choice. And you really don't have an election. Because your choices are so whack and so similar to one another at the end of the day about what they're going to actually get in there and do, you might as well stay at home and watch Netflix. So this idea that someone's not fighting hard enough or someone's not doing this or people are in love with parties, that's all stuff that people say and people repeat it. It's nonsense. No one loves parties. They just think there's no other hope. This is horrible system of one-party machine that we have, where one party talks a certain way to another, to one group of the country, one side of the country, playing to their fears and bigotries, and the other party uses those fears and bigotries played by the other party to twist the arm of the other half of the country. Either appearing to their, using virtual signaling to one half of the country, or using the fears and trepidations of the bigotry that they expand upon, that they elevate of the other side, giving us no choices at all. If you walk down the cereal aisle and all you see is cereal, you have no choice for breakfast because all your choices are cereal. It's not like we could go get fruit. It's not like we could go get some, pancakes. There's just cereal. And they say, choose anything you want. Here goes your shelves. Choose anything you want. And it's the same shit on the shelves. It's two rows. One cornflakes, other Tostios. Cornflakes, Tostios. And look, you got all these choices. And you're like, hold on, there's 1,000 boxes on row one of just cornflakes. Well, choose one. They're all cornflakes. Well, choose the other one. Well, they're Tostios. Look, man, I don't know how to put it any plainer. We are screwed, and the only way we're going to get unscrewed, and look, guys, I'm saying this at the risk of everything, and some people got to die, Johnson. Some people got to be willing to die, Johnson, like MLK. Like Malcolm X. Some people got to be willing to die. And nobody's willing to die. They'll talk tough on this YouTube. They'll talk tough on some other platform, but they're not willing to die. What they'll do is rile you up, say a bunch of half-truths just to play the game because we know what the game is. The game is to get people excited or get people angry. Get them so angry that they just open their checkbooks because they're looking for a solution. People just want you to say what they're thinking. And they just use that. And those corporations use it. And these political parties use it. And America's tapped into the pain of Americans. And it's not that people want to hate. It's that they got nothing else left. So on that race tip, bro, America uses race to extract wealth from the ignorant and the downtrodden. Remember that shit. It's used as a weapon. Races are being played too. What do they really get? Nothing. They get to feel superior to people they are inferior to. They get to feel as superior, but they don't get to live a better life, not really. They get to feel superior while the people that are controlling it get to live the better life. Away from them. Get what I'm saying? The trick to this whole thing is, while they're hating us for our black skin, as they were told to do, they get to feel superior. But the trick of it all is the people that really are benefiting from it are not even them. And they don't even like them. They hate them almost as much as they hate us. You get what I'm saying? You understand? They're sitting in their ivory tower looking at the poor whites going, stupid ass poor whites. I'm glad I'm not like them. But they know the only way this thing works if those poor whites hate those poor blacks. Because if those poor whites ever realize that those poor blacks, they have more in common with those poor blacks than those poor whites will not only storm the Capitol, they will storm those ivory towers. And that's what the hell America's really scared of. And this is the type of talk, not that other stuff people do. People do that other talk where they sit around. I hear them all the time. They sit around and they talk to black people about black white supremacy. I know, fine, great. They're not in danger, Johnson. This is the type of talk that gets you shot. That type of talk gets them paid. Don't listen to the bullshit, man. That type of talk about, white supremacy and, we need to do this, what black people need to do, what black people need to do. No, the type of talk that really puts you in jeopardy is ever talking about these white people and these black people ever getting together and storming the castle. And they won't talk that way because they know what I'm saying is true. So they tell you, so here goes the rest. Here's the rest, brother. Najee. They trick you into thinking that this type of talk is sellout talk. They do the same thing to you that the rich whites do to the poor whites. Yeah, they do the same thing. You're getting just as screwed. You're getting, because I already know who you listen to. I already know whose content you consume. You're getting just as screwed as the poor whites are getting screwed by the rich whites. You understand? Because you're buying into this line of talking. Neither one, the poor whites or the poor blacks who listen to that garbage, they're working against themselves and they're working against resolving this issue. And the people in the ivory towers stay paid. And I'm not the only one who figured it out. Other people have figured this out. You really think some of our rich people who are black haven't figured this shit out, Johnson? They figured it out a long time ago. You really think some rich white people who didn't grow up with money, who now have money, didn't figure it out along the way how this thing works? They figured it out, Johnson. They just don't talk about it. One of the closest people that get to talking about it is like Dave Chappelle. People rarely talk about it. So, to summarize, and I'm not going to summarize it, we said it all, man. Do not believe it's a gridlock. Don't believe the government don't work. And yes, you're right, it's the rules. And yes, they're pretending like, oh my God. It's sort of like, when a guy who talks a tough fight, like he want to fight somebody, but he's a punk ass, he don't really want to fight. So he'll sell wolf tickets, and then act like he wants to get aggressive, knowing you're going to grab him and stop him. That's all we got going on here, man. That's it. This is a WWF, WWE cage match. And at the end of the day, we're all in the stands paying for it. And they go home in their private jets. They go home. They eat their caviar. They ship in their mail order brides, Trump. Huh? How much are they worth now? How much are the Obamas worth now? So this is the type of talk that gets you excommunicated, but it's real and you inspired me because you actually believe that there's gridlock. There ain't no gridlock, man. It's running like they want it to run, son. And the fact I know it's running that way is because you think it's gridlock, which means you think there's actually opposing forces working against one another. No, they agree, Johnson. They agree. that they'd rather be rich than like us. They'd rather be comfortable than like us. They'd rather be wrong and paid than right and broke or right and dead. And that's the truth of the matter, man. That's it, Johnson. That's all. That is all of it. And it's sad. And it's true. And I know I'm right because I'm shaking. I know I'm right. To my bones, man. In my soul, I know I'm right. Because I've done this show for many years, brother. And now I'm worried. That don't happen when you're just talking shit. That doesn't happen when you're just talking about the man. All right, guys, let me go on the next call. I would end the show right now. Because, like, I don't know what else can be said that could possibly be really said at this point. I don't want to answer a bunch of questions about my rants. I like to move the conversation on, and you guys talk about what you want to talk about, okay? Or I will shut this shit down. Because that's far enough, man. That just went further than that's far enough. All right, so I'm going to give a shot here. I got a 347 number. Hold on, 347. Okay, 347, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. This is Mike from Brooklyn. I wanted to throw out, a point that builds what you just said regarding Martin Luther King. I'm 50 years old, and I was taught that, he taught the Christian way, and he was about peaceful protest and was influenced by Gandhi. And I think that's just such a limited perspective. It wasn't until he was organizing the workers, white and black, down in Memphis, the sanitation workers, that he truly became dangerous. And we all know what happened. After he spoke to those workers, he was assassinated. Not for the civil rights stuff he was doing, but when he started building on the momentum of showing, the workers, that there's a fight, that they have a common denominator. And going off of that, I wanted to build on a couple of points regarding the force of the vote. I do think we need to start calling out the people that we elect into office, because they have one voice when they speak to their constituents. They have this down-to-earth, grassroots sort of vibe, but then they go into this echo chamber when they go to Washington, and I think they lose their mission. And where I see the fight in the thread of optimism is, we rank and file workers, we need to, call our elected officials and tell them, to force this vote. What is there to lose at this point? And I also think we need to, reevaluate what a loss is. If we force the vote, that's a win in itself. That means the politicians are beginning to listen to the people. And then the result of the vote is win or lose, it's an educational experience that goes to, transparency, that we know where everybody stands. So then we can get organized in a better way to elect or to stop supporting or whatever. But we don't even know where anybody stands at this point. So I'll just leave it at that. I really enjoy your show, Tim. It's a breath of fresh air, even when we are venting. Thank you.
All right, Mike. Thank you for the phone call, Mike. I appreciate it. 615. You're live, 615. What's your name? What's your comment?
Hey, Tim. My name is Kyle Rashad Robinson. You took my call earlier, and to be honest with you, man, I kind of rushed off the call. I'm a bit embarrassed to say it. I was a little bit starstruck because I've been looking up to you for a long time, and I feel like, oh shit, let me get off. Let me just say what I got to say. Get off the call. In this call, I want to respond to what you just said. Obviously, you know I've been on hold for a little while. Initially, I wanted to clarify some things when you first responded to the things that I said and the lack of clarity in them. I definitely don't want to well, actually I'm willing to, but I don't want to make this a psychology class. I want to try to harmonize some of the comments that I've said before with what you said in response to them and the last caller's push to try to turn this into action and to put pressure on the people who we vote for. To do so, I feel like it's necessary that I just provide a little context. So let me take 30 seconds to share my personal experience. I'm from Tennessee. I'm from Nashville. As a juvenile, I was charged as an adult. I grew up in prison. By some extreme strokes of luck, I'm in downtown New York City. I'm on Maiden Lane. I can literally throw a rock and hit Wall Street. I'm the next block away from Wall Street. I'm right here where all these tall-ass Belly of the Beast buildings are. When I came to New York on November 15th, 2019, I was homeless. I didn't know a single soul in New York. And I had been homeless before in Nashville. Nashville had been going through some extreme gentrification over the last few years, speeded up by one person's, willingness or interest in me. I've been for the last, basically a year, I've been staying at this hotel. It's called the AC Hotel. Hope I'm not saying too much. It's called the AC Hotel. It's on Maiden Lane. And what I do every day is engage with the homeless. I'm with an organization called Backpacks for the Street. I serve as a volunteer. And what they do is collect these donations. And where it's relevant is that I'm out in the street every day. I'm seeing people who are just like me. I've been in the shelter with people. I lived in the shelter and seen them again on the streets. These are my people. When you're talking to people that's felons that's been locked down for years, these are my people. Not to promote any of those groups or any of those behaviors. What I'm saying is because of a recognized shared desperation that we have, I think that there is onus upon us that you brought up earlier. You killed it. You really killed it. And I don't feel like I want to say anything better, but I just want to highlight what you said, particularly with this illusion or this acceptance that a lot of us have that our Democrat Party is working for us. Now, I know people who watch your show are already not falling for that shit. We see the game. We tune in because we know it. In my experience, I'm dealing with a few different social groups. We're in these meetings on Zoom every day where we talk about racism, and we do it in a way that's very distanced from the caste system that you recognize that we're living in when you talk about the poor white people. And it is very disheartening right now in 2020. And if I could just jump right in there and say that, man, if I had knew you was going to go hard like that tonight, or if I could record this and just bring my friends into this space right here, because I think this is what so many people, good-hearted people, are looking to know and don't know because they empathize, but and I'm talking about people who are absolutely emotionally invested enough to be willing to sacrifice or rearrange their financial status. The difference, one of the glaring differences seems to be, this is going to sound raw when I say it, is 401ks. I tend to dwell in this system where people 401ks are straight, they consider the world as being good. I'm talking about people in the Democratic Party or who vote Democrat consistently and who are extremely committed to fighting racism and to fighting injustice socially. So there is a level of self-interest with corporations doing all right or being successful that is entangled in these people's immediate goals, their futures, what they see for their grandkids. The same thing we sitting up here talking about, you know, what we want to see. And I'm sorry to be so long-winded. I just want to say I think you nailed it, and I look forward to tuning in tomorrow. And I think the thing that makes this show so special is that the illusion of gridlock that you just addressed, while a lot of us don't feel it, we are somewhat held hostage or prisoner to people or groups or measures of influence who do feel it. So someone else talked tonight about asking the right questions. I think the question that resonates with me is, how do I present to people who are willing but incapable, or like you said, have their arms twisted to where they can't see behind their interdependence upon me or the work that I do. And I'm happy to leave it there. And I'm happy to expound. I think earlier when I first called you, I was coming from a place where I'm from Tennessee. I'm from a place where we love Trump. Not we. Everybody loves Trump. It's Trump country. My father, someone who I consider a very intelligent man, above average intelligence, hard worker, never been in trouble with the law. I remember when I was a kid, I asked him the difference between a Democrat and a Republican. He said, that's the spelling. And now he is the most the most supportive member of the Trump group that I know. I call them Trump enthusiasts because I don't think everyone who voted for Trump is necessarily supportive of him. But I see this change, this phenomenon that has existed in the Southeast region, and I'm hoping that maybe you can speak to that in a way to give me some insight to where when I go back into these groups, I can go back in there with, I'm not putting it all on you, but something that'll hit people at an emotional level so that people who are straight, financially straight, not necessarily doing good, but straight, and not necessarily the people who don't know where their meal's going to come from tomorrow like me, or I do know simply because of luck, but there's a huge space between those two borders that are looking for your passion and your eloquence and intellect, and I'm looking for something I can take in. I've been trying to do it on my own. I don't get to tune in every night. I do as much as possible, but I lean on you because I think you addressed a certain point, and I'm going to leave it at that. Thank you so much again for taking my call.
Well, thank you, Kyle, for calling back, man, and I hear you on that, and you know, once upon a time, fear used to work. Once upon a time, fear worked on people because people were afraid that the people that were neglected in society would come eat them. Right? That was the fear. Whether it be real or imagined, that was the fear. You know what I'm saying? And now we're so siloed, right? That fear doesn't really exist for them. I mean, carjacking's really there. And we got highways separating us. You know what I'm saying? So, I don't know, man. I'm going to have to ruminate on that a little bit because if you are comfortable, which is the whole plight, like that's the whole thing, right? The liberals that Malcolm X talked about, the incrementalists, the liberals, the Democratic liberals who are detached who talk about freedom when we get a chance. Hey, let's slow down. You know, hey, you know, we stop lynching you, at least for the most part. You could wait. You could sit on the back of the bus. At least you get to get on the bus. Like those guys, like that. We don't want to cause too much trouble. You know, it's we got a nice little country going. We don't need you mucking it up. There's a lot of people like that now. Some of those people are black now. You know, because it's a mentality. It's a capitalistic society, and some people have ascended to a certain position, and yeah, some people have gotten there, and I don't know other than the fact that they're connected through in-laws, maybe they're connected through siblings, brothers, family members, friends. I don't know. You know, like I said, we're so segregated at this point. America's more segregated now than it's been in the last 50 years. These people say stuff on TV and it gets repeated. And people accept it as true. Just because they heard a lot. America's so divided. America's so divided. Yeah, but you're talking about Trump. You're not talking about the real segregation that's been going on in this country. They're talking about like Democrats versus Republicans. So we're also separated by people with the have and have-nots. More so than even color now. It's strange. And I know the two are kind of closely related. So really your question is a very difficult question to answer, brother. Because you're saying, how do we get people who don't give a damn to give a damn? People who don't need to give a damn. People who are good. Right? So I have to think about it because, I mean, giving a damn that lasts. Because they gave a damn for like 2 seconds when George Floyd had the life snuffed out of him. But you saw what that took, right? You saw what that took. It took George Floyd to die for people to give a damn for 2 seconds. And it took for him to die slowly. Almost 9 minutes, right? 8 minutes, 9 minutes. And now we're watching Trump. Impeachment hearings. So I'm going to go to the next call. 443, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? Yo.
Hello?
Hey, you're live. Who's this?
Hi. Are you there, Tim?
Yes. Who's this?
Oh, okay. I was expecting, something else. Anyway, hi. How are you?
I'm good.
I want to say, I thank you for your show. I discovered you last year. I'm just going to say this part briefly. And hearing your voice of reason means the world to me. You're awake and aware, and you're one of the only people in media, one of the few, I should say, that speak the truth. So, I listen to your comments and everyone's comments, and I feel just like you do, that this is all a charade. I mean, I don't just feel it. I know it. One thing that really bothers me is that, a lot of people are suffering right now. And I know that we could do a lot about this, even if we don't change the government right at this moment. We could help each other. There are some of us who are doing okay. There are some people that have money. There are some that don't. I have maybe some things at home that could help somebody else in my town. But I find that we can't even help each other because of several reasons. One, me personally, when I've tried to help people, sometimes people stab me in the back. People are not trustworthy. If we could trust one another, if we lived with integrity, all of us as individuals, we could at least help each other out a whole lot more. That's a very important thing. Like I said, there are sometimes I have extra food, I have an extra meal. And, I have in the past tried to help people. And I have caught a lot of hell for it, from the people. Sometimes people get offended. Sometimes they just have no appreciation. Or they feel like you're a chump. And that's a really big deal. You try to help, you're a chump. Okay, let's see if you can take more advantage of this person. And I sit, and it's really hard because I know people are suffering. And, at this point, I mean, it's been a lot of years where I've tried to help people in different capacities, even before COVID. And people, it's really, if you want to be a leader out there, I mean, you're a leader, Tim, times where I've chosen to be a leader and people have said, yes, I'm behind you, we're behind you. And then when it came down to it, they left me just cold, to take the heat. And, at this point, I feel reluctant to even reach out to people. I'm a Black woman. I feel reluctant to reach out to my own people because they don't always treat me kindly. We don't treat each other well as Black people, and that's one thing that people always say, what are we going to do? What are we going to do? We have to help each other. There's no other way. The government does not care about us. And at some point, they're going to, lay down the hammer on us. It's going to get worse. And I hate to be negative, but if you can't, now I'm not talking to you, Tim, but in general, people, if they can't look and see what's going on, like you mentioned, you said people are walking around like everything is normal. I go out sometimes and it almost freaks me out. I'm like, people, do you realize what's going on right now? And I can just hear sometimes in my heart people crying. There are kids that are hungry. And, people are walking around, hey, as long as I can go shopping, everything's good. As long as I can pretend everything's good. I know it's scary. This is very scary. You have to, look up and face the fact that, life as we know it, and that includes eating freely for a lot of people, it's going down the drain, and it's terrifying. We have to do something, and even for just right now, we have to help each other. But I want to add something else to this. I know that people feel like, we're trying to solve a problem within it's not just corrupt, it's an evil system. We're trying to, defeat this government, okay? Or, try to find a way to help ourselves, to save ourselves. I know when I have a problem with a company or a store, I ask for the supervisor. I go above that person's head. If that person doesn't work, I go to corporate, okay? And you might not want to hear this, and listeners might not want to hear this, but the fact of the matter is that there is someone above the government's head, and that person is Almighty God. And the thing is, we have to pray. We do have a creator, and everyone's trying to run to mankind, oh, do this, do that. We've got to connect with our creator. And I'm not saying that everything's going to be perfect, that everything will be rosy, lovely, but we have to, there is a power that's higher, and God is real, and he does do things within people's lives. I don't want to just speak for myself, but there are millions of people who can attest to the fact that there is a God, and he has done things to help people. And when I say go to God, I don't mean you just go to God and you pray and you sit there and wait. I mean, if you're, me personally in my life, when I have a problem, when I have an issue, I pray about it. And I say, all right, let me, sometimes the Lord will say, this is what you should do. Sometimes he's silent. The bottom line is, I come up with a plan of action. He gives me a plan of action, or I come up with a plan of action, and he will lead me. He'll guide me. God has opened doors in my life many times. He's moved bad people out of the way. Okay. And are you saying okay for me to be quiet?
Yeah, we need to wrap this up. I'm sorry.
Oh, that's okay. So at any rate, we have to go above this current system we're living in. We have to go to the head, and that's the Lord. We gotta look up.
Okay, sister. Well, thank you for the phone call. I appreciate it. And wow. Okay. All right. Okay. All right. So let me say this though. Okay. And I was going to say it with you on the line, but I think it's better to say it this way because we can't have it monopolize the conversations. In the beginning, you tell me that you have an abundance. And you can help some people because you got some stuff. Then you tell me you would give people stuff, but people don't appreciate it. Or you've given stuff to people in the past and they took advantage of you. And then you close by saying that God is there and we need to take it to God and God's got us covered. So I'm not really following you. Let me say it this way. If you have it to give, give it. That's it. Don't expect anything back. Don't expect gratification. Don't expect even a thank you, Johnson. Because if you have it to give and you don't give it, you're not going to feel good. That's your reward. The reward is giving of yourself. And it also makes for a better life and a free conscience. And it lightens your load. True story. Very recently, there was somebody I was beefing with and been beefing with him for a couple of years. And this person has done enough to me, I felt, for me to hold that grudge for the next 10 years. But over the weekend, I just got tired. And I just felt like, you know what? I want to let this go. So I made a gesture. I did him a favor. I did him a couple favors of really putting this all behind us. And I contacted him and said, hey, I just want you to know I've done this favor for you. And I don't want nothing from you, man. I don't want nothing. I don't want you to publicly thank me. I don't want you to do anything. To the rest of the world, we're still beefing. That's fine. But I want you to know I'm done with it. I wish you well. I don't want our past issues to impact your life negatively. And I wish you the best. Go out there and do some good work and help some people. I had to do that for him, for me. I did that for me, but I did it for him, but I did it because it was in my position. I had the power to do it. So this person didn't necessarily deserve me to do it, but it was the right thing to do. And I encourage anybody who's in a position to do the right thing to do the right thing, whatever that is. And if you're going to be spiritual, you're going to call up to a talk show and talk about God, and if you're trying to decide if you should help people because the way they may react may not be favorable, that ain't in your control. That's on them. If that person I just did that for turns around and dogs me out more, that's between them. That ain't none of my business. That's their decision. And let karma or God or whatever you believe, let that come for them or let that correct them. But it ain't up to you. So that's one of the reasons why I have a problem with religion. You understand that you can give me a sermon after telling me, making excuses for why you can't help people. It's the contradictions we have as humans. You get what I'm saying? It's the same contradictions that make people steal from their church, to take tithes from people that don't have it and not give back to the community, or a priest to touch kids, or any of the gross things that some people do in churches. But there's also a lot of good. So I'd walk into the light, man. But don't call the show talking about what people need to do and how black people, and also let me say this too, and I don't mean to be hard on you. You didn't leave your name, so you're good. Nobody knows who you are. You said we don't always treat each other well. You said black people don't always treat each other well. Hey, first of all, here's a news flash. Don't know people treat each other well, okay? That's a fallacy, okay? All white people don't treat all white people well. I just saw a white man kill his neighbors, shoot them each like 5 times, go inside, get a new gun, a fresh gun, and shoot them some more. No one treats everybody well. And if you want to talk about black people specifically, I wonder why we wouldn't treat each other well when we lived under a system that told us we were worthless for 400 years and to hate ourselves. And then those damaged people who never had therapy had kids. And those damaged kids who never had therapy had more kids. So, yeah, I think we have a reason for it. But individuals can make decisions to do the right thing. And they're making those decisions every day. Every day, people are doing great things that don't get talked about. Every day. So I just got to push back on that because I hate when I hear black people say that. Because those black people say that black people don't do this and black people don't do that. Don't spend a lot of time around white people or around Latino people. And first of all, Latino ain't a people, Tim. It's a lot of around Guatemalans or around Mexicans or around Puerto Ricans or around Dominicans, like they're all separate. You just look at black people and go, all black people. I can tell you some Asians that hate the hell out of each other. Anyway, I'm gonna move on, man. I wish you the best, I really do. And none of my comments are meant to tear you down. If you just disagree, and I just want to give you a different point of view, okay? I'll just end it on a positive note and say, fuck your excuses, do the right thing. If you got an excess, share it. Everybody's not gonna be ungrateful. And there's somebody out there who would appreciate it. And even more importantly than that, you know it's the right thing to do. So, you got me up here preaching, man. Cut it out. It's like magic. All right, man. All right. Our phone line's still working. We done took y'all to church and then some. Wow, we got a lot of people in the queue. I got an international call. Let me take this call. 491, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
What's good, fam? It's your friendly neighborhood expat.
What's happening, family?
I actually wanted to call and say something to Najee because he sounds so confused. But my brother Mike from Brooklyn made me realize something. I'm gonna try to say this as fast as I can, but it made me realize that people could think, because I'm calling, when I call, the only reason I'm calling is to let my people know you do not have to put up with this shit, right? And I realized, listening to Mike, I sound privileged. So I'm just taking a real short story, all right? I never met my parents. So at some point in time, I'm rebellious inside. I'm grown now. I understand it a little better. I'm just smelling myself. I'm all over trying to start shit, whatever. Anyway, at some point in time, at the second court, the judge gives me the opportunity to go in the Army. So I get to the Army, and I get put out of the Army too, because I'm smelling myself. I'm that nigga. So when people listening say, okay, yeah, you know, he in Germany, nah. I just was standing at JFK like, you know what? I ain't got a chance. I ain't started. I'm just learning how to be a person, and my shit is gonna be forever. So you know what? Fuck that. I just roll the dice. Because you got a max flight when you get out of the Army. Even when they put you out, you still got 24 hours to fly anywhere in the world. I just roll the dice. All right, let's go. Because I'm going to be fucked up here. Excuse the French. I'm trying to not say. Anyway, so now I'm in Germany. And I'm not going through the list again tonight, right? The only list I wanted to, and the only thing I wanted to say to that is, like I said, you do not have to put up with their trash, because we bombed Germany to smithereens in the 40s, and they didn't have nobody to build back up. So what they do? They got immigrants. The Turks and the Italians came here, built Germany back up. So prejudice and racism, it's all over the world. This is one point I'm out. And in Germany, the Germans is racist against the Turks. But I ain't no Turk, and I ain't trying to be, whatever. But I'm just saying, I got enough to worry about. So when you're over here, you slip in you're American. You American, and it ain't right or this or whatever. I'm just choosing no sides. I'm just saying that's one less on my back. I just be American. Outside smile. I'm growing the afro. I ain't never will. I'm 50 years old growing about. Anyway, You do what you do, Tim. I love watching your show because I always, when I get up in the morning, for you, it's late at night. I'm just getting up, brushing my teeth. I'm like, oh, wait a minute, Tim Black, click. All right, yo, do your thing.
All right, fam. Thank you for the phone call, brother. My brother.
Yo.
Yeah, that's what's up, man. It's real talk, man. Just speak from the heart, man, and keep it real, you know? Keep it real. 808, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
What's going on, Tim Black? It's Will from Hawaii.
What's going on, man? What's happening?
I just had a couple things. I was listening to your interview this afternoon, and oh my God, what a brilliant woman! I was so just floored. I had to go back and watch it a second time
90
to be able to
seconds.
catch everything she was talking about. But it was really impressive. You did a wonderful job with that too, man. Like you really let her have her space and speak her truth, and it was damn impressive. And anybody who did not see that should definitely go and check it out because it was something else. You were talking about finances, and it is dismal, man. Like this is probably the last few months have been the first time in my life
60
that I've ever
seconds.
thought that the entire country, that my child, my grandchildren, they're screwed. They're fucked. Nothing is going to get saved in my lifetime. I will never see things get better in my lifetime. And I thought, well, you know, part of me just wants to like tune it out, like forget I heard any of it. I don't know anything. I have no wisdom that's been bestowed upon me. Just let it all go and ignore it. And but you can't do it. You just once you sort of get that one little glimmer of knowledge. First time you listen to Tim Black's show, and you hear a little bit of wisdom, you can't turn it off. You're stuck with it. And I worry now because, you know, the big change that's happened recently in our economy is, you know, workers had power because companies relied on workers to actually do something. And the banks needed the companies to produce in order to make money. But now it's not even needed. The banks have figured out how to make money out of our debts. And now that they've figured that out, the idea of producing anything is just, it doesn't even make sense to them anymore. And so you look at a company like General Electric. The most value of General Electric is in their financial services. That's General Electric, who you think makes your toaster and your refrigerator and whatever. They make more money in their financial aspects than they do in anything else. And so, like I said, a lot of it has to do with making money out of our debt. The bank doesn't make any money if we put money in the bank. People think that when we take out a mortgage loan, that mortgage loan is coming from, you know, other people's savings in the bank. That's all bullshit. It's a click on a keyboard. In that debt can be doubled and quadrupled in the bank's favor to increase as revenue for them. Where if we take money and actually put it in the bank, it does nothing. That's why there is no safe place to save your money and try and retire in the future. There's nothing left. There's no place to go. They don't even want your money because they're not even willing to pay you anything in interest to save your money at that day. So yeah, that's all I got, man. But I do appreciate the show, and man, you should rant on whenever you want because that was one hell of a rant, and I certainly do appreciate it, man.
Well, thank you, brother Will, and I appreciate you calling up, man. And yeah, man, send me some Hawaii. Jar some of that Hawaii air up and send it my way, man. Try to grab a couple more calls, man. This is crazy. Ended up turning a night that looked like it was going to be a throwaway into something very usable. So I want to thank everybody that hung in with us tonight because you never know when something great happens. 323, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment? Hello, 323. I can't hear you, 323. I got nothing. All right, I'll try to come back, 323. Let's try 214. 214, you're live. What's your name? What's your comment?
Trail South.
What's up, Trill?
Trail South, Tim. How you doing?
I'm good, man. What's up?
Good to see you working. Good to see you getting the voice out there and letting the people be heard. It's time that people click the like button and make the algorithm work for us. This country, based on destroying unity, our system doesn't want people to come together. We realize the people at the very top are a very small percentage. We often like to call them the 1%. They are outnumbered, and their only means of controlling us is to continue to divide us. So they've divided us in numerous different ways, whether it's class or race, etc. If you allow these people to divide you and look at other people to say what is different about them instead of seeing what you have in common with them, then you are becoming what they want you to do at the top to control you. So if we continue to divide ourselves, we are doing what they want us to do. They are together. They will reach in your pocket and steal from you. They're that guy, and point to someone else and say, well, that's the guy who did it, not me. I've got my fucking hand in your pocket. I'm not the one stealing from you. That guy over there is. It's exactly what they do to us. They play a whole game. Everybody that's been eliminated gets eliminated when they come to learn unity. Then it's time to eliminate them. And that's why they've been killed and removed from the earth, because they learned unity is what was needed, and they began to see other people as what they have in common with them instead of what divides them. It's that simple. Everybody needs to hit the like and make the algorithm work for us. Thank you for listening to me for a moment. It's good to see you on here working. And when the people speak and when you can turn nothing into something, which is what you've done tonight, when I know you wanted to dip out from the beginning. Yeah, just let it become something. Thank you for listening, brother.
You got it, Trill. Good up for Trill South, man. Now, look, guys. Now, this is. I want you to. I'm gonna keep this one brief, man. But Trill just hit onto something, and I gotta say it. Yes, it's a division, using the mechanism to divide us up in order to make it so that they're able to continue their dining on, they're dining, they're living, their distractions, keep us distracted on one another, right? That's all true. But it's also true that the mechanism of race is being used. And I don't want it to ever be like I'm dismissing that, because I'm not dismissing the reality of there being racism in this country. So let's not, you got to keep, look, it's not cut and dry. You can't, how can I say this? Let's not pretend that what's real ain't real. Okay, so it's real that black people only own 2% of America's wealth. That's not because, okay? It's not because, bad thoughts. Like, there are people with a whole lot of shit and people with nothing, okay? Now, there's white people with nothing. And I don't know exactly who are those people that have the close to 90% of the wealth. Okay? Because, but because I know when we start breaking that down, we get to some other numbers, right? But what I'm saying is, There are people who've been used as cattle in this country. There are people in this country who've been treated a certain way based on the skin tone. Now, we could say, let's rise above it, everybody, let's not be divided. The problem is, guys, you can go take a Harvard study online right now and find out if you have implicit or explicit bias. 5 out of 10 Americans have explicit bias. Six out of 10, they say, have implicit bias. I don't know where those numbers came from. That's where they came from. Go look up the Harvard study. Find out if you got a problem that you don't even know you have, Johnson. And I'm not just talking to white people. Because you can take the test, black people, and see if you got a bias yourself. And also see if you got a bias about skin tone, not just race. Skin tone, they have gender, they have sexuality. It's a whole bunch of tests. So, I don't know, I just want to make sure that I'm being, because I want you to know, because like tomorrow, if race comes up, I'm talking about it. Okay? And I don't want you to be like stunned. Tim, I thought you said we're being divided by this. No, there are racial issues in this country. It is what it is. But that's not the only issue in this country. And when we talk about how the government works and who's pulling the strings and how all this shit works together, well, then we're getting to all these different levels. So it's not just one thing to be concerned about. And that's why I want so badly for a lot of progressive policies to happen. But when progressives, if that's what you want to call themselves, people with Medicare for all, wipe away student debt, defund the police, reimagine police, clean the water up, end mass incarceration, legalize cannabis. People who want all those good things, Green New Deal, and certain iterations, right? Those people, they can't just erase the race. Okay, because that's when black people hear that, it's like, this person nullifies what we've been going through, what I've been going through, what my parents been going through, what my cousin's been going through. Hey man, we call up for a job. My name sound black, they're not calling me back. I go buy a car, they had an extra thigh on it because I'm a black man. They had extra points even when we got the same credit. More interest, higher interest rate, even when we got the same credit. These are not things I'm making up in my head. These are not, we just need to be nicer to each other. Because there are people who are infected with the implicit or the explicit bias who are making these decisions on a daily basis. And they're making different decisions for me than they're making for you. There are people who watch this show who don't know, or people who don't watch this show who don't know the reason why they don't subscribe to this show or they don't become a member of this show is because they have an implicit bias. And those same people would lecture me on what we need to do as black people, but don't even know they have an implicit bias. So where are those 6 out of 10 people from? Who are those 6 out of 10 people? They're not, to them, it's not them. It couldn't be them with the bias. But they grew up in the same country where all the other infected people are from. In the country that uses race and has been using race and has built itself by using race. There might not even be a country if it wasn't for using race. Get what I'm saying? But they say not them, but that's what the country's made out of. It's like eating cake without eating cake. To eat cake, you gotta eat flour, Johnson. You want an apple pie without having any apples in it. You're damn right you got some apples in you. I had Bill Duke. I'm gonna go to the next story or next call. Bill Duke, legendary actor, director, author on the show. We're talking about race. He said, Tim, but remember, this is the country where when I was a little boy, when I went to church, they had a bag on the door. And if you were darker than the bag, you couldn't come in. And this was a black church. So we ain't just talking about one group of people. We're talking about the sickness of this country, the sickness of race in general. And then we talk about corruption. And then we talk about the government. And then we talk about all the other stuff. So people want it simple. They want it plain. They want either or, black or white, no gray. And it's like, it's gray. It's gray. I wish it wasn't. I love to focus on one thing too. But it's more than that, right? I ain't got all the answers. I got some questions though. Let's go next call. I think I got a couple people, maybe I got a couple people. 608, did I hear from 608 yet? 608, did you speak? I'm sorry.
Yeah, you've got 608 there.
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me?
I got you.
608 here. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, 608. What's on your mind, brother?
I was going to change the subject. You were talking about social media the other night and them kind of going against the First Amendment against you.
No,
I think you're blaming the wrong people.
No, I never said that. It's not First Amendment right issue. Social media is not about First Amendment rights. Never said that at all.
The government is causing the social media people to censor people because they're scared shitless of Section 230 of their Communications Act, and they want to take that away if the social media doesn't do what the government wants them to do.
Exactly.
It's Section 230 of the Communication Decency Act.
Yes, I'm aware of that.
So it's the government that's causing Facebook to knock people like you down and me, and it's not the social media companies themselves. Tammy Baldwin, I know her, and she wants to limit social medias.
Amy Klobuchar?
Social medias.
And Amy Klobuchar is one of them, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I know her, and she wants to get political speech off of social media.
Right. You're right. You're
and
right.
That's all I want to say. It's the government.
Yeah, you're right. You're absolutely right. Give it up for this call.
That's it, guy.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. And I'm not. I don't know who. I know it's not a First Amendment right issue. I mean, it's just social media. Now, if we made this a public utility, it'd be a different story. But if it was a public utility, you're damn right they would censor it. But I've been on the record. That's to make it clear. Like, I feel that Mark Zuckerberg and whoever owns YouTube, Google, they could really care less, man. They're getting pressured. You think they really care what content's there? They just want to run ads, man. That's all Mark Zuckerberg cares about is running ads. He's a capitalist. He doesn't care about what you talk about. But I was just having this conversation offline with Zakia, who my guest, we talked about it briefly. She was saying, I didn't even know you could run ads, because you can make money off of Facebook. I said, yeah, I made money off Facebook. I've had videos on Facebook go super viral. And meanwhile, on YouTube, they got a couple thousand views. The same video got 2 million strong, 2 million views on Facebook. So yeah, I used to make money off Facebook. So I could take the hit and be, okay, it's fine I have no reach on YouTube. I got massive reach on Facebook. Like 10 times the reach I have on YouTube, I have on Facebook. 4 times more than Twitter. People put down Facebook. They didn't know how important Facebook is. There are people taking classes just to learn to run ads on Facebook because the marketplace is that big. They have over 100 million people logging in every day to Facebook. So people don't understand. They say things because they don't like Facebook. They moved on to Instagram or TikTok. Facebook has made multiple millionaires just off Facebook. You ain't even got to be a star. You don't have to be a YouTube celebrity to make millions of dollars on a social media platform. That platform will be Facebook. But no, like they are pressuring social media to try to control us. And now Zuckerberg doesn't want anything political on his platform. He's like, I want out. I can make my money without this crap. I'm tired of the hearings. I'm tired of these complaining, crying ass Democrats. I'm tired of it. Do what you want. So now that's where we are. Okay. So thank you for the phone call, brother, because they want to clear that up. Now, of course, Mark Zuckerberg would fight for it, but what's his incentive? What, to say Tim Black and TBTV? He needs to fight the U.S. government. He needs to sit on Capitol Hill and sit through more hearings because Tim Black want to talk about race. It ain't just politics. It's race, it's gender, it's orientation, it's social issues, it's money, social economic issues. There was a list they gave me of like 15 things you're not supposed to talk about on Facebook if you want an ad to run on your content. Now, if you don't want to make any money, talk about what you want. But if it goes too far, they just block you. They just shut down your page. So that's just the real deal, man, and it is what it is. I'm not complaining about it. I'm just educating you about it. You know what I'm saying? Because I don't own Facebook. So not even a person that's going to rant and rave. This is what I know. I'm going to find a way. I'm going to find a way, Johnson, because I burned my boat too long ago. I burned my boat 5 years ago, man. This is me, man. Whether I'm on a radio station, Sirius, get my own channel, my own show, on somewhere, some podcast platform, wants to hook me up, Spotify, something. I don't know. I'm going to be somewhere because I have to be, because I don't have a choice. I can't go back to IT. I haven't kept up with technology. In IT field where I was at, you need to stay studying. So I can't go back to that. It's not an option. Okay. Before the phone lines cut out, okay, just making sure I'm getting new people here. 316. 316. Oh, I had 316. I'm sorry, 316. 323. Did I have 323? I think I did. I just had 323. And then I had 443. Yeah, okay, well, hell. We cleared the queue. Everybody's talked at least once. 323, I poured 323 before. Yeah, 323. I just had 323. No, 323 did not answer. I got an NA by your name. Okay, 323. Let me try you again. 323.
Hello?
Hey, how you doing?
Hello?
Hey.
Hey. Okay, I apologize, sir. I had a little technical incident on my side. I'll make this quick. First, I was 6 years old when I first heard the term right wing. So I asked my dad, who was an older gentleman, and he told me what the right wing was. Then he also told me what then was supposed to be the left wing. And I said, well, if there's a right wing and a left wing, aren't they the same bird? He laughed and he said, you're right. You just figured out the scam that most people in the United States will never figure out. They're the same bird, son. And you got to push one wing harder than the other in order for you to barely get any type of right. But nonetheless, you just figured out the scam that most in the United States don't. So that was a very quick lesson there in social studies at the age of 6, and it stuck with me. With that being said, like I told all these so-called new parties, independent, whatever that new party is that's coming up. If you have the word party, if that 5-letter word party is being carried by your mouth, I will not vote for you. I don't want a party. And if you look in all of the articles, we are not supposed to have organizations nor corporations having a party in the government. it's in like Article 3. It's also in like Substance Article 19. We're not supposed to have that anyway. So that's the biggest scam right there. And
all right, brother.
It was confirmed. It's confirmed when you look up and you see the word political science. Guess what? There's no political scientists in any of the offices. Have a good night.
You have a good night too, brother. Thank you for being here, man. And I appreciate the light note, man, to end the show on. And I don't know, that was a good one. And Dr. Cornel West, when I had the opportunity, had the privilege of having Dr. Cornel West on the show, and he used the same language. He said, the two wings of the same bird. Now go get me some cornmeal and a couple eggs. He didn't say the eggs or cornmeal, but he did say the two wings on the same bird. But I gotta give a shout out to the caller tonight who said when he was a kid, he asked his dad, what's the difference between a Democrat and a Republican? He said, spelling. But that was good. Hey, look, guys, what can I tell you? Every once in a while, we make a little bit of history here on this show. I can't guarantee it'll be like this tomorrow because I don't know. But I got great callers that call up and they spark a certain type of energy, and you never know what they're going to say or what they're going to speak truth to power about. You never know what's going to happen. But I tell you that for $5 a month, you know, at least $5 a month. You could pay more, but it's on you. It's a pandemic out there. I ain't trying to hurt nobody's pockets, but $5 a month, become a member of the show if you like this show. Keep it around. Make a statement. Vote with your dollars. Go to patreon.com, Tim Sig Live. Buy me a cup of coffee every month. I would drink on the show, but you don't want to see me drinking. But look, guys, look, I want to thank everybody for the night tuning in. It's the middle of the week. You got things to do. Great callers. Give it up for all the callers. That's right. This show don't work without you guys. That's why it's a call-in show. Give it up for my moderators who've been staying up, taking no dose and drinking coffee, trying to stay up and help with the queue. Yeah. And give it up for everybody who shared the show on some platform or hit like. Thank you for hitting like. Hit like. I got to remind people to hit like. People will be watching, they'll like it. They won't even think about hitting like. A lot of people watch the show and don't log in too. So if you watch the show, hit like. And please subscribe and hit the bell to get notifications. Notification squad in the house. We need people hitting notifications. Because they do a little thing. I got a thing I look at, it says 11% of your people, your subscribers, hit the bell for notifications. And that's like, the average is like 15. So we're way below average on the number of people who actually have hit the bell to get notified when we do a show. So the more people we have show up for shows, the more I can get great guests. Because guests want to be in front of people. Well, they want to go on shows where people actually watch the show. So that helps. That's it, guys. I don't want to keep you any longer. It was a great show. I'm going to read the comments now. Thank you so much for being here. Much better than I expected. I was tired till I started talking to y'all. We Carry Signs donated to the show. So did Roger Meadows. Let's see what we can do here. Let me see if I can make the screen a little bit bigger. Hey, trying to convince OG at Barbershop how corrupt this Democratic Party is. I mean, if you got to convince somebody of that, they too far gone, Johnson. They got to see it for themselves. He can't defend them, so he plays whataboutism game and accuses me of being GOP. That's what they do, Johnson. What you doing at the barber shop? Hey, Roger says some of us still have hair, brother. Bernie, if you love us, don't vote Neera. She dissed us. Yeah, she horrible, man. She blocked me in 2015. Because I went at her, Johnson. I went at her hard. I wasn't playing with her ass. Tarvin called her ALC hard on their assault video. Okay. Yeah. Boss Einstein said Clyburn's back on this Joe Knows Us. Joe knows us. We know Joe. And Joe knows us. And I know pharmaceutical money. That's right. I know pharmaceutical money. Ain't nobody's more pharmaceutical money hungry than me. Oh man, I'm the most progressive. Ain't nobody more progressive than me. Ain't nobody more obsessive than me. Ain't nobody more reflexive than me. I can bend over here and do a split without splitting my pants. I can dance in the field of dandelions with bumblebees and none of them would sting me. Because I am dangerous. I can do ninjutsu, MMA, while watching the WWE, drink a glass of tea, and be who I can be. I am Jim Clyburn, a relic. Whew, Roger Meadows, okay. Taxpayers pay for Trump's pension as a free man. Bullseye sign. Adam said home health care workers deserve a $15 living wage. Man, hell yeah, they deserve hazard pay. They deserve a per diem of about a couple $100 a day, plus an hourly wage of like $20 at least. At least. Levon Hughes, thank you, Levon Hughes. Proletariat Pizza. Proletarian Pizza, thank you, Proletarian. Scotty Johnson, what's up? Love you, Tim Black. Please run for president, bro. Hell no. Look, man, I thought you said you loved me, bro. They would kill a brother. Kip Winter, thank you, Kip. What up, Kip? Thank you, Kip. Thank you, Kelly. Kelly M., thank you. I'm an atheist, Kelly says, but I'm praying to all the guys that will listen that Neera Tanden will not be confirmed to the OMB. We'll see how the power of prayer and a few Wiccan spells work this week. Whee! Look, man, I ain't falling for the banana in my tailpipe. Neera Tanden. Roger Meadows, what's up, Roger? Roger say something about their haircut? What did Roger say? Did Roger say something else, man? Last call, I finally got something to agree with. Abolish parties, yeah? Yeah? Last caller did say that. Last caller's like, if you got a party in your name, I don't want to hear what's coming out of your mouth. That's right, brother. Man, there's a lot going on with MPP, man. There's a lot going on. If you're not on Twitter, guys, you may not know this, but there's a lot going on MPP, man. Or MPP. I have stayed out of it, though I get the play-by-play daily. People DM me all this stuff, man. I'm trying to tell you. Man, that's why when people call up and I'm trying to stay out of like internet drama because it's not worth it. I mean, you know, it gets stressful and people try to sabotage my show and it's going to be, the truth comes out. The truth always comes out. Well, not always, but a lot of times it comes out. What's done in the dark comes to light. Yeah, but when? All right, guys, that's it. I got a lot of love for you. I appreciate you. Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow. Remember, tomorrow I'm going to put out a video with Neera Tanden. Let's say it'll be up by 8 p.m. It's going to be an announcement. I'm going to do a premiere. So please subscribe so you can get that, so you can watch that live. Yeah. My Neera Tanden interview will be tomorrow. Don't miss that. All right. That's it, guys. Remember, Patreon.com, Tim Say Live. I'm Real Tim Black on Facebook and Twitter. I'm Tim Black at night if you got Instagram. And with that, we are out of here. Don't let nobody take your cornbread. And don't argue at the barbershop, Roger. Sprinkle some facts on them and get out of there. Peace. Let me ask you something. Do they know us? When I say they, I mean the talking heads on cable news. Do they know you? I mean, they talk about the world as if it's a sport. They play political games, report on our pain, rack our brain to feed the stock exchange, but do they know us? Do they know what we care about? Nope. They're too far away. They can't see us. They can't feel us. They can't relate to us. See, when you want to know what's going on in your world, trust someone who lives in your world. Subscribe.
Most news shows are suspect. They don't focus on black issues. How does that help your life? How does that help your family? How does that help the culture? They don't. The Tim Black Show is different. Tim Black gives you news for people who can't stand the news. Real, authentic, researched, entertaining. On point. TimBlackTV.com. Join us today.